Welcome to So Basically Explained, where the books and history you faked reading actually get good. Messy plot twists, chaotic characters, ancient drama that hits harder than your ex-bestie's rebound. Let's break it down. So basically, and spoiler warning, because I'm telling you literally everything. This week's chaos is sponsored by Henry VIII's wild legacy, and trust me, we're not just talking about the 6 wives, we're talking about 6 red flags in corsets. We'll be unpacking Henry's full villain era all week, but today, we're ranking the wives by pure, unfiltered chaos, because these weren't just girls in pretty portraits. They were fighting for survival, dignity, and occasionally, the Tudor crown. So let's get into it. Fact 6. Catherine of Aragon, the ride-or-die queen. Catherine was the OG wife, Spanish royalty, real one, unbothered queen. She married Henry's brother first, yes, his brother, and then bagged the king after he died. And for 20-plus years, she did everything right. Wife, mother, diplomatic alliance, prayed, sewed, gave him a whole daughter, which Henry considered a personal insult because she wasn't a son. But when Henry got bored and started eyeing his next side quest, Anne Boleyn, Catherine said absolutely not. She dragged the man to divorce court in front of the Pope. Whole Catholic Church got involved. It literally started the Protestant Reformation. Like, ma'am, I respect the chaos, but this was more Henry's mess than yours. So, respectful nod. But low on the chaos scale, she fought with dignity, graceful chaos, mature queen energy. Number 5. Jane Seymour, Miss Keep It Simple. Jane was wife number 3. She was the human emotional rebound from the Anne Boleyn scandal. Like if Anne was a firecracker, Jane was a beige IKEA couch. Soft, supportive, quiet. Honestly, too quiet for this hot mess dynasty. But she did the one thing Henry cared about. She gave him a son. And then, iconic timing, she died immediately after childbirth, which locked her in as the one wife Henry actually mourned. He even got buried next to her. Was Jane chaotic? No, but her timing was immaculate. Exit before the downfall. That's an art form. Number 4, Anne of Cleves, the catfish queen. Anne was wife number 4 and the Tinder date from hell. Henry saw her portrait and was like, she's hot, marry her. But when she showed up IRL, he said she looked like a horse. Yes, out loud. He tried to get out of the wedding before the ceremony. But Anne, icon that she is, was like, bet, you don't want to marry me? Let's annul this and I'll take a castle and a yearly pension. She stayed rich, safe, and drama-free while all the other wives either got their heads cut off or dragged through scandal. She's the only wife who became Henry's beloved sister and actually survived. That's chaotic neutral behavior, power move. 3. Catherine Parr, the stepmom with a death wish. Wife number 6. She was more into books and theology than the Tudor thirst trap, but Henry was like, you'll do. And she said yes, knowing he had beheaded 2 wives already. Sis was playing with fire. She low-key tried to argue religion with Henry, knowing he'd burned people at the stake for less, and the court literally signed her arrest warrant, but she found it on someone's desk, pulled a full emotional manipulation speedrun, and convinced Henry she was just a humble, submissive wife. Plot twist, she outlived him, and went on to marry her actual crush. She married Henry VIII for plot. That's chaos with extra brains. Number 2, Catherine Howard, hot girl tragedy wife number 5. She was young, flirty, and basically thrown into Henry's lap by her family like a sacrificial lamb in heels. Henry was in his 50s. She was a teenager. It was giving you. She gets married, starts partying, and allegedly hooks up with her old boyfriend. Big mistake. Huge. The court goes full investigation mode. They find love letters, interrogations, torture. She's arrested, and she's so young she asks for the execution block so she can practice putting her head down properly. That's not just chaos, that's heartbreak. And the trauma? Royal level tragic. Number 1, Anne Boleyn, the blueprint for mess wife number 2, the blueprint, the moment, the other woman who became the queen and then got publicly decapitated when Henry got bored. She turned Henry into a lovesick simp. He literally created an entire new church to marry her. Bro said, I'll just leave Catholicism as a treat. But Anne? Anne was not here to be soft. She played court politics like a game of 4D chess. Got pregnant, made enemies. Henry wanted sons. She gave him Elizabeth. Then had a series of miscarriages, and suddenly she's being accused of witchcraft, adultery, and incest. Yes, with her brother. None of it was true, by the way. She went from queen to prisoner to headless in under 3 years. The chaos was biblical. Shakespeare wouldn't dare. Anne walked so every future royal scandal could run. Final thoughts? Henry VIII was the real problem. Let's be honest, the man treated marriage like it was a rebooted Netflix show that got canceled every season. And each wife, just a different kind of survivor. Some played the game, some got played, some got guillotined. But Anne Boleyn wins the chaos crown. Girl came in swinging and left with the Reformation, a dead queen title, and a daughter who would literally become Queen Elizabeth I icon behavior. So if you liked this breakdown, follow So Basically Explained for more stories that are somehow messier than your group chat. And that's the tea. From dead authors to ancient scandals, now you actually have something interesting to say at brunch. If you loved the drama, hit that follow and send this to the friend who still thinks history is boring. This is So Basically Explained, where we stop doom scrolling and start deep diving. Drop a comment. What shocked you the most, or what would you have done differently? Catch you in the next one. Don't be late to the plot twist.